Help is also a prayer, of receptivity. I'm willing to receive help. It's a prayer of miracle mindedness. Now, how do you do that prayer, right? Do you just say help? I think that's a good way. Just help, help. I think often we think to pray we have to know, well, who or what am I praying to? I find it much less of an issue what we're praying to. It's much more, what are we praying from? Hello, those of you who are subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm Angela Montano. I'm grateful you're here. And I'm so interested in prayer. I've been praying and studying prayer for over 30 years, and I do it from a very inclusive way, and yet it's not a particularly religious way. I think that prayer is an instinct to reach beyond our thinking mind, to be open to grace and mercy and assistance that's beyond what we conceive as humans. I really like this book written in 2012, Annie Lamott, Help, Thanks, Wow. I don't know what this is, if it was a tea stain. I don't know, maybe I was drinking hot chocolate, who knows. But she calls these three words prayers: help, thanks, wow. And I want to talk a little bit about help. Help is a prayer of high self-esteem, because to say help, I have to, on some level, deem myself worthy of help. Help is a prayer of humility, because I'm going beyond my best thinking. Maybe I'm asking for help for something I've thought about. And so help is kind of like I'm going beyond my best good ideas. Help is also a prayer of an open mind and an open heart, because it's a prayer where we're willing to consider a possibility that is in potential. We're reaching into that. Help is also a prayer, of receptivity. I'm willing to receive help. It's a prayer of miracle mindedness. Now, how do you do that prayer, right? Do you just say help? I think that's a good way. Just help, help. I think often we think to pray we have to know, well, who or what am I praying to? I find it much less of an issue what we're praying to. It's much more, what are we praying from? Are we praying from sincerity, praying from an open heart, praying from an open mind? As I've worked with people with prayer for years, sometimes people go through experiences of praying directly to something they might just word love beauty, or they may pray to Jesus or Mother Mary or the Buddhic mind, or for some people they pray just to the universe. You can pray to possibility. One definition of the word God is that which is too vast to be known. We're reaching into some presence of love when we're praying, some presence of intelligence. And so I think that's too vast, as the definition goes, to be named. And so if I just get sincere and receptive, I'm opening to support. And it's incredible to think, is this universe friendly and supportive? And if that is a yes, how might I pierce the sense of isolation I imagine myself in, alone? And how do I receive? And that prayer, help, is such a receptive prayer. It's also a prayer in which I feel like when we pray that prayer, help, it kind of releases us from guilt. A lot of times when we're, well, I'm guilty, I'm to blame, so I'm not even going to pray for help. And so inside of that prayer, help, is a willingness within us to be forgiven, to be forgiving, to forgive ourselves, to forgive others. It's quite a simple word, help. And yet, I think it's a stunning portal into connecting to a loving and friendly set of possibilities that prayer cultivates and brings forward. So it's so simple and it's so easy. Of course, that doesn't mean we practice it or do it. And I've practiced it and I've done it. And I can say that I've experienced stunning relief and demonstrations from it. And then I forget all about it. And then I don't do it. And then I remember it again. So it's an interesting walk for me with my own ignorance. What am I ignoring? I seem to go through these phases where I ignore like the shimmering kindness in the universe. And then I wake up again to it. So I encourage you to play with that prayer help. What might you need help with today? Could you rest a bit in that prayer? It can also bring forth a kind of patience. Once I pray help, I can maybe release some of the ruminating about whatever the issue is and just sort of kind of allow. I even want to use the word wait, trust. And be open. See what happens. Give that a try. See what it's like for you. Blessings.